Assalamu alaikum. Let's cook. People, American history here. We're talking about this guy, Dr. John Harvey Kellogg. He is the inventor of Corn Flakes, big time American company. Now this guy, Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, he was kind of ahead of his time as far as holistic health is concerned. He was doing a lot of things for people as far as getting healthy and things like that. But he was a sick white American man. He tortured children. He mutilated children's genitals. And of course, he was a racist, white supremacist, typical cracker. So here's the thing. First, I have to get into who this guy is and then give you the American version, the version of this guy who they like us to talk about. Now, this guy, Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, again, the inventor of one of the inventors of Kellogg Corn Flakes. He was born in Tyrone, Michigan in February of 1852. Now this guy, Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, he was raised in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Now, the Seventh-day Adventist Church has their beliefs. They're very health conscious people. They're into eating healthy. Many are vegetarians. They stress no drugs, alcohol, smoking, and things like that. And this guy right here, he did follow that lifestyle. And since he went to school to become a doctor, they said he was a very smart young man, very highly educated. And the Seventh-day Adventist Church in his community, which was in Battle Creek, Michigan, they had a health retreat or a wellness center called the Battle Creek Sanitarium. And this was the Seventh-day Adventist Church who owned this thing. And since they knew they had a young man who was gifted and kind of smart, they figured, let's make Dr. John Harvey Kellogg the chief medical officer of this place. And they did. He operated this place with his brother, Matthew Kellogg. Matthew Kellogg was the manager. He overseen many of the operations in this place. He played a very important role. The brother, Matthew Kellogg, played a very important role. He's the brother to John Harvey Kellogg. Now, this Battle Creek Sanitarium, it was operated on the Seventh-day Adventist Church's principles: vegetarian diet, abstinence from alcohol, tobacco, you must exercise. They also suggested a very bland diet, which helped with gut health for digestion and to reduce sexual stimulation. They didn't agree with people thinking about sex. This guy, Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, he was such about that life that he slept in a separate bedroom from his own wife and never had sex with her. He did adopt children. We'll get into that later. This guy, Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, from the ages of 23 to 88, he treated thousands of patients and performed 22,000 operations. During this time, he set a record by performing 162 successful abdominal surgeries without a fatality. And this was during a time when 15 to 20% of patients usually died from surgical complications. So he was a big deal. He was good at what he did. People would come to this sanitarium place and go through all kinds of medical holistic treatments and health treatments and things like that. They had things like sunbathing, colon hydrotherapy or colonics. This guy, he invented all kinds of machines. He was ahead of his time. He invented something called the electric light bath in 1896, vibrating chairs and tables, mechanical massage devices, again, the colonic machine, foot vibrator, electric bed. I mean, he was into all this stuff right here. The vibrating dumbbell, okay? And he did patent these things. He became very popular at this health place. Some movie stars even started to come. President Truman even visited this place often. And at this health retreat, him and his brother and his wife, that's where they invented Corn Flakes. Okay, that's where him, his brother, and his wife invented Corn Flakes in 1894. Now, there was a family beef over who actually invented these Corn Flakes. They wanted to make this healthy breakfast for people to eat, and they kind of made Corn Flakes through trial and error using wheat, different machines, making all kinds of flakes. And then they discovered some process called tempering, which was a technique that was used to eventually make all kinds of flake cereals. All the flake cereals that were made with a process called tempering. So a patent for flake cereals and the process preparing same was filed on May 31st, 1895, and it was issued to Dr. John Harvey. His brother Will later insisted that he worked with him on this and he should have gotten credit for inventing this process to make flake cereal as well. So during their first year of production, Kellogg's Corn Flakes sold tens of thousands of pounds of this flake cereal. They continued to experiment using rice and corn and wheat and things like that. And in the year of 1898, they released the first batch of toasted corn flakes, okay? They released the first batch of their official toasted corn flakes, which was a more of a modified version than the first ones they made that they were selling at their sanitarium, and it had a longer shelf life, okay? So they pretty much just stepped their game up and improved on a product after they had already invented it. They improved on a product so that it can last longer on the shelves, and the new version was released in 1902. So this guy Kellogg and his brother Will, they got into all kinds of beef. His brother Will wanted to add some sugar to the flakes to make them taste better. Dr. John Harvey Kellogg said, no, don't do that. So the brother Will, he left and started making his own corn flakes, and he became a big deal. In the year of 1906, Will founded Battle Creek Toasted Corn Flake Company, which later became the Kellogg Company, okay? And in 1930, Will, he established the W.K. Kellogg Foundation. His company was one of the first to put nutrition labels on foods. He offered the inside of the box prize for the children and all that. The brother Will was the one who did that. So yeah, the little brother, he took the, corn flakes that he said, I should have as much credit in this as you. And he took off and started doing his own thing, and he blew it all the way up. And because of that, these two brothers had beef until they died. Now, that's Dr. Kellogg. That's the story that they want people to know. He's the inventor of corn flakes. He's this super great health guy. He's a holistic man, but there's way more to it. Not at all. This guy was a disgusting pale barbarian, okay? Now, what he would do, he would urge patients or parents to send themselves and their children to his clinic to work on their sexual urges and addictions, okay? He was against all sex due to his religious belief, he said. So at this sanitarium, he would tell parents, bring your children in. If your kids are known to masturbate and things like that, bring them here. We can help them with that problem. And yes, parents would actually bring their children into him for that. So Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, his whole thing was, in order to cure these sexual urges, we have to be proactive so that they never have them. Let's stop them from the beginning. They can't have them. So he thought it would be a good idea to have physical restraints for young boys. He would tie their hands using bandages and things like that behind their back, or he would use a cage-like device to cover their genitals and prevent them from touching them. So they can't touch their joint. It's a cage right down there. He put a whole cage down there, y'all. Or he'll tie their hands, things like that, tie them up in knots. He also would do circumcisions without anesthetics. He advocated for circumcision as a corrective measure, specifically without anesthetics, believing that the brief pain in this operation will have an effect on the mind, and a kid will remember this and they will never do it again. That's what he said, people. For girls, he was all about that genital mutilation, okay? And his treatment for girls was even more extreme. What he would do is he would pour acid on their clitoris in extreme cases in order to remove it, man. I mean, this guy is sick, y'all. He would pour acid on girls down there, man. He thought that was okay to do. He thought that was cool. This is how we're going to work on you, he said. Genital mutilation for girls by pouring acid down there. This was a sick guy. People actually bought their children into this dude, y'all. Parents. This guy wrote all kinds of books about all this madness. He was a really sick dude. And here's the kicker. Remember I said this dude didn't even sleep with his own wife or in a room with her. He was against sex. So he adopted children. Him and his wife were foster parents to 42 children, and they legally adopted 8 of them. So this guy, just imagine what he did to all of these children. If he was spying on them while they're getting undressed or something, looking at them, he's watching them, he's a creep. Oh, you're aroused. Let me go ahead and put this acid down there on you. Let me put this cage. Let me circumcise you with no anesthetic so that you feel it and remember this pain. This guy was a hardcore white supremacist and a eugenicist, by the way. Okay, he was one of those. He was a big time advocate for segregation. Okay, and remember, people, American crackers who are pro-segregation, they're not looking at segregation the way we may look at it, where a lot of us say, hey, well, segregation was better for us, is what we need. The whole concept for them is not for something to be better for us. They don't believe in they want segregation, but of course they want to torture and they want people to suffer and they want to do genocide. That's when they say segregation, that's what they mean. You know what I'm saying? They don't want any kind of equality at all. You know what I'm saying? That's what they mean. So a lot of people get that kind of screwed up. Yeah, we know we would do better with segregation, but when they say it's pretty much, we want you to go to chattel slavery, no rights. We want you to like a dog. That's it. Now, this guy, Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, this cornflake weirdo, he was very outspoken on his views on race and his belief in racial segregation. And here's the kicker, people. He had quite a few black foster children as well. So imagine what he was doing to the black children. This guy was a super cracker. He probably castrated all the black children. I mean, he's a white devil, very evil mindset, sinister, into some deviant things. He'll do that to any child, period. So add that to the fact that he's a hardcore Satanist white supremacist and he adopts black children. Imagine what he did to them. Mr. Cornflake here was steadfast in practicing the religion of white supremacy, Satanism. Him and a few partners of his, they founded something called the Race Betterment Foundation. Now this Race Betterment Foundation, they had a center and it was like the headquarters for the eugenics movement. Their views, pretty much, let's make our race better. No black people, no mixing, no non-whites, period. He said that non-white people will damage the white American population's gene pool. Now, he promoted this form of white supremacy as a leader in his organization for 30 years. He was one of the white Americans that promotes sterilization, big time. In the state of Michigan, where he's from, he was a major player in sterilizing women. And you know who they were primarily sterilizing, black women. Now, when this white cornflake devil died in the year of 1943, he actually died on December 14th, 1943 in Battle Creek, Michigan. He left his entire estate to the Race Betterment Foundation. So that's how much this guy was about that Nazi, Satanist, white supremacist life. Yeah, the cornflake guy, people. This is a guy here who thought he was so healthy and coming up with all this health stuff. He's a religious man. He's Seventh-day Adventist. He would apply carbolic acid to the clitoris of little girls. This is crazy. This dude is sick. He would want to circumcise boys so they can feel the pain. But these are the people that they say that Americans should look up to. They're so great. Pretty much any one of these American white moguls behind these big businesses, big millions, corporate America, they all have a sinister past of doing something disgusting. Of course, racism, bottom line, but then it goes even deeper with doing horrible things to their people. Anyway, get in the comment section. People, let me know what you know about this, what you think about this. Link in the description for the email list. Get on that so that you know what the content is, just in case YouTube start doing their thing. And also the link to my book, my masterpiece, The N-Word is No Secret in the Service. Easy.